Uncle Steve, you made it. Hey, that's right, you little piece of crap. I made it. I made it to my nephew's birthday party. You don't think that sounds like a big deal? What if I told you I spent last night in county jail? Sounds like a big deal now, doesn't it? Now don't get me wrong, I'm not a bad guy, but I made a pretty stupid decision. See, I was driving home from an after-work office party when I lost control and wrecked on the exit ramp of the interstate. I was in big trouble, not just because I wrecked my car, but because I had celebrated a little bit with my coworkers. No one else was involved in the crash, but the police handcuffed me right on the spot, took me to jail. It was charging me with a DUI. As I stood in my cell holding helplessly to the bars, I remember thinking, my life's over. I was gonna lose my car, my job, my driver's license, my house, maybe even my girlfriend, and not to mention how disappointed my family would be. One mistake was going to turn my life of freedom into a life of burden for myself and for everybody around me. Man, I was losing hope, and fast. That is, until I called Mike Money. You see, I remembered what Mike Money did for a friend of mine who was in a similar situation. I didn't want to end up letting one lapse of judgment ruin the rest of my life, so I called Mike. He came to me in no time at all. I told him my story, told him what I was charged with. He could tell that I was in a tight spot. Any average attorney would have been afraid to be thrust into a situation like this. But Mike Money, no average attorney. The judge drove a hard bargain, but Mike and the team from Edwards, McLeod, and Money drove a harder bargain. He pled my case so passionately that the judge had no choice but to grant my release. Mike didn't stop there, though. He not only got me released from prison, but had the charges completely dropped. I even drove away from the courtroom. And I went right to the place where nobody would expect me, my nephew Liam's birthday party. So now, my favorite nephew doesn't have to be sad because his favorite uncle doesn't show up for his birthday party. The rest of my family is pretty stoked to see me too. I'm free to be the best me that I can be, all thanks to J. Mike Money. So if you're in a tight spot and you don't want one dumb little mistake to jeopardize your future, call Edwards, McLeod, and Money today and ask for J. Mike Money. J. Mike Money to the rescue.